Hi Panda, it's story time. We're going to read Iggy Peck, Architect, one of your favorites, by Andrea Beatty, and pictures by David Roberts. Are you ready? Here we go. Iggy Peck, Architect. Young Iggy Peck was an architect, and has been since he was 2. When he built a great tower in only an hour with nothing but diapers and glue. "Goodness gracious, Ignatius," his mother exclaimed. "That's the coolest thing I've ever seen." But her smile faded fast as light wind blew past, and she realized those diapers weren't clean. "Ignatius, my son, what on earth have you done? That's disgusting and nasty. It stinks." But Iggy was gone. He was out on the lawn using dirt clods to build the Great Sphinx. When Iggy was 3, his parents could see his unusual passion would stay. He built churches and chapels from peaches and apples, and temples from molding clay. At dinner one night, to his father's delight, Iggy got a bright gleam in his eye, and out on the porch built the St. Louis Arch from pancakes and coconut pie. Dear Ig made it until 2nd grade, when his teacher was Miss Lila Greer. On the very first day, she had this to say: "We do not talk of buildings in here, Gothic or Romanesque. I could care less about buildings, ancient or new." She said in a lecture about architecture that it had no place in grade 2. She does not like buildings. That might seem severe, but she was sincere, for when she was no more than 7, she had a great fright in a dizzying height in a building so tall it scraped heaven. On an architect's tour of the 95th floor, young Lila got lost in the group. This is Iggy's teacher when she was little. She was found 2 days later, stuck in an elevator, eating cheese with a French circus troupe. After that day, it's quite safe to say she thought all building lovers were nuts. As a teacher, she taught that, above all, one ought to avoid them. No ifs, ands, or buts. As you might guess, it would cause Iggy stress to hear such terrible talk. But he didn't care. He sat in the rear while building a castle of chalk. Wow. "You, Iggy Peck, your desk is a wreck. Tear down that castle right now. You will not build in here. Is that perfectly clear? Or do you need to see Principal Howe?" "No, ma'am," Iggy said. He lowered his head. His heart sank down to the floor. With no chance to build, his interest was killed. Now 2nd grade was a bore. After 12 long days that passed in a haze of reading, writing, and arithmetic, Miss Greer took the class to Blue River Pass for a hike and an old-fashioned picnic. They crossed on an old trestle to a small island nestled in the heart of the burbling stream. But they no sooner passed than the footbridge collapsed, and Miss Lila Greer started to scream. "We're trapped here! Oh my, alas, kids, goodbye!" Her eyeballs rolled back in her head. She dropped to the ground with a vague groan sound. Likely fainted, but not dead. The class was amazed. They stood quite dazed, uncertain of what they should do, but one bright young man was off hatching a plan which started with Miss Lila's shoe. Soon each lad and lass were at Blue River Pass, was working together as one. Wow, they have tree branches, twigs, and shoes and laces and lots of things. And Iggy is drawing a plan. When she came to, Miss Lila Greer knew that something quite brave had been done. She looked in the air and saw something hanging there, a structure with cables and braces. And on the far side, beaming with pride, were 17 smiling young faces. Boots, tree roots and strings, fruit roll-ups and things, some of which one should not mention, were stretched ridge to ridge in a glorious bridge dangling from the shoestring suspension. Look, they built a bridge. It became clear to Miss Lila Greer as she crossed that bridge over the stream, there are much worse things to do when you're in grade 2 than to spend your time building a dream. Now, every week at Blue River Creek Elementary in 2nd grade, all the school kids can hear, along with Miss Greer, how the world's greatest buildings were made. The weekly guest speaker in t-shirt and sneakers talks of buildings from Rome to Quebec. Of course, he's the one guy who builds towers from pie. That brilliant young man, Iggy Peck. The end. What a great story. See you later, pandas.